Hello, this is my mind map on Chapter 1, Practitioner Inquiry in Trying Times. In the center of this mind map is a person sitting on top of numerous books. This symbolizes to me the history of research and the many types of practitioner research that have been conducted over the years. It represents the challenges that have been faced, the obstacles over those challenges, and the fact that the person is still reading symbolizes the importance and continuance of this movement today. We begin with an ocean branching out from this research. This image was chosen for two reasons: as a play on words for the current policy and political climate in U.S. education, because this current climate can seem overwhelming, bringing many educators to places they did not want to go. It feels as though sometimes we are fighting against a current in today's educational policy making. The money bag represents the connection between the economy and education. This shows the primary means of education is to produce a workforce that can meet the global demands of the market. However, it also brings up many issues when we wonder how this emphasis and link to the economy is affecting our students. What purposes are important in our schools? Next is accountability, a word too often heard by educators. While many have always held themselves accountable, NCLB changed that with the implementation of high-stakes testing to determine the effectiveness of schools. This really stuck out to me, that it has changed schools because it's a transmission of agreed-upon knowledge now. I never knew a time before NCLB in my teaching career. However, it is important to remember that teaching is radically local, shaped by cultures and communities and the students in the classroom. Finally, in the current education system, there is an emphasis on science and evidence being used. Practitioners are placed as the recipients of other people's knowledge, which should not be the case. This is a narrow and exclusionary view of knowledge and knowers. Next, we have our walking equal sign, which represents equity, engagement, and agency. The first picture shows that students can act as part of their own researchers and become researchers themselves. The first picture shows a school at the place where research is taking place. It can be at the base of research. The second picture discusses cross-network initiatives and the way that research can be spread through different communities. Finally, the third picture represents the student completing his own research and self-study. This allows students to empower themselves and to allow inquiry to fuel their learning. Next, we are developing conceptual frameworks. So this is a framework of a house being built. First picture represents the importance of oral inquiry within practitioner research and how discussing with students and other teachers should be part of our research. The second is the many theories and methods that go into practitioner research. So we have a stack of books there. Third is representative of the ethical issues involved in research, particularly when there are stakeholders within politics and business that are motivating or need the results of research. Then we have this light bulb, which is inventing and reinventing communities of inquiry. The first picture represents the affordance of new technologies and the ways in which it has changed practitioner research. The second picture represents local groups with national reach, cross-national communities, and grassroots national professional organizations, and their impact on the way in which research is valued, published, and given out to the public for discussion. We have a little girl standing on top of a shape, okay, that represents shaping school reform and education policy. First, we have schools as sites of change. This picture represents the ability of research to inform and allow teachers to change and improve their daily practices. It also shows the ability of research to help students rise up to meet their greatest potential and achievement. Organizing to inform policy. This represents that research should be used to inform policy and take a critical look at the ways in which teachers' roles as decision makers are being diminished. And while we would like our research to be used to inform policy, most likely it will not be, as policymakers are looking for more scientific-based proof and more quantitative research. Finally, we have a picture of a college in which represents the reforming research and practice in universities. This picture represents the academic literature that is now available, specifically the amount of practitioner research that is now in the field. Finally, this handshake represents the partnerships that are taking place between communities and schools within universities. They are working together to research and find ways that can improve their schools and greater impact their communities. Here's a complete picture of my mind map.